OptixEQ and a continuation in our series of video races of the day. This is race 3 at Aqueduct. It's the second race in the pick 4. We're doing all 4 races today. So it's Thursday, December the 16th. And when I look at this race, the one thing that kind of pops out at me is 2 things on the surface and distance plot to the right. And that is all the horses that aren't able to be plotted, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9, and then how the 8 stands out on it. So the reason why the 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 aren't able to be plotted is because they're either changing surface and trying a surface for the first time or trying a route of ground for the first time. A lot of them seem to be coming out of turf races. So that's important to note. But the 8 just kind of stands out. He is coming off a layoff, and I just don't know how they're going to come back. So this race is tricky. So I want to kind of just quickly go through the field in the grid. I'm going to start with the number 1. The thing that I don't crazy about the 1 is that other than her second race, she really never improved speed figures. All on the turf. They had an opportunity to put this horse in like softer races on the dirt when they came off. They never inclined to do so. I don't like in a debut said shorter. You know, this horse at best looks like a closing sprinter on the turf. Just is dropping. Just can't really get behind this horse strongly enough. I don't like all the rider changes. I'm downgrading the number 1 favorite Impulse. Number 2 Synonymous. Again, this is another horse that's is going from turf to dirt. No dirt form at all. Speed figures are good. They're comparable. Could get it done. But I don't like the fact that this horse is kind of looks like a closer type. So I can see this horse being way back, and that's not going to do it on the dirt. Going one turn, usually not conducive to a win. Another horse that kind of has been doing the changing jockeys on a regular basis. Not really any one rider sticking with this horse. So another negative, another horse I'm downgrading. And he'll be at a better price even than the 1. So downgrading him be okay. The 3 I'm going to use a little sneaky. There's things I don't like, as you know. The one thing I don't like is the 338-day layoff followed by 74. Now, he did get scratched in between there. So maybe there was something to that. That was on it looks like the 11th. So that was recent. So, maybe they intend to run this horse sooner. Don't know. Would have been by a couple of days only. But at any rate, this horse is in this race. Don't like the fact that the race before that was Laurel. Those races are usually below the class level of Aqueduct. So why do I like this horse? Well, debuted on the turf, probably didn't want the turf, then came back and ran a much improved effort in the slop at a maiden 50 level. Now, that was a 67 as a 2-year-old. So if you project this horse's form forward, they improved by 12 to 15 points. This was at the end of the year, so maybe the improvement is not as much. But even if this horse improves 10 points or even 8 points, that puts this horse right in the range what it takes to win this race. Lightly raced, pretty good trainer, and I do like the workout pattern. Don't get too much into workouts on this, but I'll pull up the tab here and it looks to be has 3 workouts since the last race, and they look like they're improving. And the last one was 16 of 120, which is pretty good. So I would say this horse maybe has some upside and must be included in a race that's kind of cloudy. The 4, another horse I just would include just because, you had the double layoff and this horse came back around a hugely improved in performance. Was it the turf or was it the fact that this horse, wanted to go long? He was nowhere near the race, but that was against better horses. He's already lost on the dirt, at this level. This just again a horse that I'll include on the backups just for the fact that he's run fast enough and it was his last race. And what have you. In a race like this, I'll take anything. The 5, you can see, it just looks too slow and too bad. The 6 is another horse that must include, just fast enough. Looks like he's run really the best races have been on and off the turfs. Not a horse I want to go crazy on, but I like the fact that Ortiz is back, but he'll get bet. And we had the projection for Notes' drop. He never got into the race last night, never was put into the race. 7 on turf, obvious contender. thing I don't like about horse is going to be really short, and I'm not completely confident, so I have to add other horses. So concerned I don't get the value. If you're playing, you might want to decide, maybe use this one a little bit more strongly than the others. I don't know, but again, he's a contender. The 7, I don't like this horse going long. You can see all the short dirt, but at least he gets back to dirt, which I think he wants. 2 back, he got the kickback, and you know he's run a 70 going long routing. So he's a horse that I think include just because the fact that he's been running against better horses, and there's one race at this level we can give him an excuse because of the kickback. So he's a kind of a sneaky horse that I would include in my pick 4. Okay. The 8 we talked about just on the plot alone, and then the 9. I don't know. I mean, this horse looks like he has some speed, but that was at Parks. He's kind of moving up. Figures look low. Gets a trainer change. Franco, interestingly, takes the mount on this horse. Let's look at his recent works to see if there's anything that's jumping out. Not really. I'm not crazy about him. So for me on the pick 4, I kind of like the 6. I just think he's kind of the horse to beat, but not confident. So I want to get some prices in there just in case. I'm going to go with the 3, 6, 7, and 8 in race 3 at Aqueduct. Thanks a lot for listening. Listen to the next video in our series. We're going to be going over race 4 at Aqueduct on December the 16th.